With a vision of a world free of multiple sclerosis, Misters for MS helps bring that vision to life through a fundraiser that directly benefits the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. Joining me to talk more on the fun event and all that it entails are Peggy Schnell, Jeff Calloway, and Tony Williams, and of course Ethan Almighty too. It looks like he's got him like a very mega-sized bully stick that he's chomping on. But this is such a fun event. Our own Claudia Coffey has hosted the event many times, and just seeing like the VO, the video roll through it is so fun. But for those who aren't really familiar with it, tell me all the details.
Yeah, so Misters for MS is a live auction event. This year it's going to be on July 27th at the Olmsted. It has a fabulous cocktail reception with a bourbon pull and silent auction. As you mentioned, all of the proceeds benefit the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, which goes to work involving research, involving programs for those who live with and are affected by MS. And then I mentioned our live auction, so we've got two of our fabulous misters who work the runway and help us raise money for that cause. And it just all comes together for us to fund that vision of a world free of MS and make sure that we are coming together to do our part and make sure that every person who's living with MS or affected by it are, we're reaching them, we're getting our messaging out, and we are, again, doing that part and getting we wouldn't be here without the kind of folks like this who are in the community doing the work.
Absolutely. And so when and why did Misters for MS begin?
Yeah, so the event's been going on for about 8 years, and it was actually a volunteer and community-led event that came together along this idea of creating something different and volunteer-led and just something fun, because we wanted the heaviness of MS and the heaviness of something that you don't always think about in a nice, enjoyable light. We wanted it to be something that you could come out and have a good time and celebrate while raising money. And so it came around that idea of, why not do a live auction in a way that was really different and, have some guys on a runway and, have some entertainment, but again, base it around raising money and also give the audience a chance at some really great live auction packages. For example, we have had some really incredible Reds baseball tickets over the years.
Ooh,
we had a Disney package last year.
Wow.
We've got a couple of cool trips lined up for this year. And so when you come to the event, you have a chance to bid on those things. And, we have mentioned we've got some bourbon. And so it comes together in a really great way, being both volunteer-led and then, again, all fueling that mission at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And so we got some of the misters here in studio today. And so how long have you been participating in this?
Well, this will be the first year for me doing it. My daughter has MS. I see the benefit of what it does.
Yeah.
And it's such an enjoyable event, enjoyable night. So it's worth coming out. I get to see firsthand what it does and where the money goes. And as far as research and how they're able to diagnose it quicker and all that. And this all comes from the great funding of events like this. And and I'm so proud to be part of it.
Yes, and I know sometimes the misters get a little crazy with the auction items. So do you have your routine all lined up?
No, not yet. I have some ideas, but we're working on it.
Jeff's like, what? You don't have the routine? All right, what are you guys planning? Can you give
I'm
us
not exactly sure what we have planned. I'll see, if he's got something planned. I need him to be the entertainment, not me. But they reached out and asked us to participate, not really knowing at the time that my wife was diagnosed with MS back in 2016. So it's an event that's close to our heart, and I see what she lives with on a day-to-day basis, and so we'll do everything we can to help out. Yeah,
I've noticed that really everyone involved, they know someone with MS. So I think, rallying everyone together to support such a great cause and, to have a little fun in between is just so important. So where can people buy their tickets?
Yeah, everyone can buy their tickets at misters4ms.org. Tickets are on sale right until the day before the event, which again, the event date's July 27th. Early bird ticket pricing is available through July 8th though, so be sure to buy your tickets online a little bit earlier to save a few bucks. But again, it all goes back to the cause and that mission, and they just spoke to that importance. And I'll also just add in, my mom also lives with MS, so it really is something where you always can find someone with a connection, and we all know how personal it is and how important it is to come out, and we we hope you'll consider standing up with us. And it's a fun time even if you don't have that connection.
Right, yeah. And I will give a little shout out to WHAS. We're your media partner.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, we are so excited to have you all involved year after year. You all are one of our fabulous sponsors, media partners. One of our MC will be up there, and we are so lucky to get to continue to work with you.
Yes, well, I cannot wait to see pictures and videos and see what you guys are planning.
Right.
I can't wait to see what Ethan's going to do on stage. Maybe he'll have a bully stick. Well, we love it. Well, y'all, thank you so much for coming in. Again, the Misters for MS event is happening on July 27th at 6 p.m. at the Olmsted. To purchase your tickets, visit mistersforms.org.